So recently, I got moved back to the NICU, that is the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, and that is where we take care of those tiny, tiny babies, and the experience so far has been fun. The last time I was at the NICU, that was a long time ago. It's been a while. I mean, I've been in NICU. Okay, the last time I was in NICU was over a year ago, and that was actually a very, very long time ago. It's very nice to be here. I've been working with older children, so yeah, I'm back to working with little babies, and I really like NICU because that is where you get to appreciate, you appreciate the little beginnings before they become, those stubborn toddlers and those troublesome twos and all. But when you're in NICU, they're so innocent, or well, they seem innocent, and you get to appreciate the beauty of a newborn. And also, I get to appreciate mothers. I get to have conversations with new moms. I get to talk to them about their children, how they can, train their children to be confident children later. So yes, I like NICU, although I don't like the heat in NICU. You get to sweat a lot because, we have to create an environment that is conducive for newborns, especially those preterms. So yes, we have to endure the heat. We have to be extra clean. We have to wash our hands regularly. You touch something, you wash your hand. You touch something, you wash your hands. And yeah, so I don't get to wear my ring in NICU too. Anyway, yes, so NICU is fun. I love NICU. And this video was actually inspired by my 1 week stay so far in NICU. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're just joining me for the very first time today, I'm excited to have you here. Thank you so much. I hope you find very useful resources in this video for your child's health and well-being. And if you have been joining me before, you are the realest forms of MVPs available. So today we'll be talking about folic acid and why you should have it before you get pregnant. Alright, so stay tuned and I'll be with you. Alright, so before we go ahead, I would like you to do some things for me. If you have been following me for some time, you know I'll always beg. I always beg at this point. Alright, so yes, if you're just joining me for the very first time, I need you to do some things for me. First, I need you to like this video, because when you like this video, YouTube sees it as a very nice video for people to see, and it makes it available in the search option. Then I need you to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow my channel, and please subscribe. I can beg. Should I kneel down? Okay. Please subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so that you can get notified anytime I post a useful video, and you would have easy access to the video. You don't get to miss out on anything I do or say on this video, on this channel. And of course, share so that you can also contribute to my vision of reaching out to millions worldwide. Alright, so folic acid. Folic acid is actually very important. It's one of the vitamin B's in the complex of vitamin B. Occasionally they call it vitamin B9. Yes, but of course it occurs in the folate form, and folic acid is the synthetic form. So folic acid is the one that we create into tablets and syrups, while folate is naturally occurring form. Now, you need to understand why folic acid is actually very important and why you should take it before you get pregnant. A lot of mothers, when you're asking them questions about their antenatal care and all, they tell you that, well, I had folic acid, I started it when I started my antenatal care around 12 weeks. And in my mind, I'm like, that was a late time, because I'll talk about it. Alright, so folic acid is very important in the growth of your baby in utero. So when you're pregnant, when you just get pregnant, folic acid is actually very, very important for the development of your baby's brain. I think that is just the most important one in pregnancy. Of course, for all of us generally, folic acid is actually very useful in production of blood cells in hair and skin. But for a pregnant woman and for our babies, very important is the folic acid that you take just before you get pregnant, because the process of the formation of your baby's brain up to the spinal cord, which is the neural tube, like we call it, occurs in the first 28 days. Yes, so it occurs just immediately you get pregnant. So first 28 days. So that is like the first 4 weeks of your pregnancy. And now if you're going to make it more technical, like the obstetricians have to do, you have to start counting from your last menstrual period. So yes, technically, by the 6th week of your pregnancy, if you're counting from your last menstrual period, your baby's brain is already formed. And you know that usually most people, when they want to start antenatal care, they'll start between the 8th and the 12th week of life, which means that whatever folic acid you're taking after that 6th week is more for yourself than for your baby. And of course, if you have deficiencies, it can lead to what we call neural tube defects, which the common ones, the two common ones, and of course they are dreadful, are anencephaly. Anencephaly is when there is no brain or the brain is underdeveloped. And it's sad to say this, but it's actually usually fatal because, well, child cannot really survive without the brain. Okay, and then the second one is the spinal bifida. Okay, so the spine is not fused, and then there's a mass that comes out from the spinal cord. Okay, so these are problems that one can have if one does not take folic acid before pregnancy. So I'm sure in the course of this video, all that I've said so far, you've been hearing me say take folic acid before pregnancy. So yes, I'm going to take it. I'm going to say it officially. Take folic acid before you get pregnant. So once you just start thinking, you just wake up in the morning, I feel like getting pregnant. That is the time to start taking your folic acid, because that is when it is useful for you to build up your folic acid level so that when you get pregnant, you continue the folic acid, and of course you continue till the 12th week of your pregnancy. Alright, so it is very important. Please have this at the back of your mind. You think about getting pregnant and then you start your folic acid. That is the way it works. You don't start folic acid like 12 weeks after pregnancy. It will not be so useful for you. It will not be useful for your baby. It will be useful for you, for your blood and all, but it might not be useful for the baby that you have inside of you. And you know, the incidence of neural tube defect is actually quite high. They say 0.5 to 2 in 1,000, and those are the ones that are even recorded. I'm pretty sure that in countries where they are not so fortified, like their foods are not fortified with folic acid, they would actually have more cases of neural tube defects, and they can be very distressing because it costs you money to have the surgery done, and that is if it has not affected your baby neurologically, affected the functions of the legs, of the sphincter. So you have a baby that cannot poop or pee by herself, or you know, cannot control all that. Those are some of the things. And of course, anencephaly, there is no brain. So these are some of the things that, and you know, it's very sad when you carry a pregnancy for 9 months and the outcome is that terrible. So please, it is very, very important for you to take folic acid before you get pregnant. Remember my face. Anytime you think about getting pregnant, remember my face. Remember that I said that you have to take your folic acid before you get pregnant. So now that I've talked about folic acid, I've talked about the importance of folic acid in the first trimester, actually the first 6 weeks of life. I've talked about its role in neural tube defects and encephaly and myelomeningocele, which is the spinal bifida. And I've talked about why you should actually, of course, why you should have preconceptional folic acid. That is folic acid from the moment you think of getting pregnant till, you know, the first 12 weeks of life. It is time for me to just tell you some natural sources of folic acid, or rather for folate, because I said folate is the natural occurring form, while folic acid is the, of course, synthetic one. So that's the one you get from tablets and syrups. Alright, so you get your folic acid from quite a number of things that you can eat daily. Alright, but despite the fact that you are eating it, please still take folic acid when you start thinking of getting pregnant. So you can get it from green vegetables. So you can get it from green vegetables. You can get it from beets. You can get it from legumes. So yes, beans is very important. You can get it from asparagus for people that have access to it. Broccoli. You can get it from seeds and nuts. Groundnuts and different types of seeds are very, very rich in folate. So these are, I'm displaying it now, these are some of the things that are actually very rich in folate, and you should actually incorporate them into your diet. And this will also help to, you know, increase your reserve. And the problem is, if you've had a child that had spinal bifida, the risk of having it in the next pregnancy, it's even higher, which means that you have to take the fortification or food supplementation very seriously, because you can't afford to just have another child, like have 2 children with neural tube defects. That is serious problem. So yes, you have to understand that as small, as tiny as a tablet of folic acid is, it is actually very important. The recommended daily dose is 400 micrograms per day. So of course, when you take 1 tablet, which is usually 5 milligrams in a day, you are able to absorb up to 400 micrograms of folic acid per day. So please, if you're taking anything away from this video, there are some things you should take away. You should take away the fact that I'm now in and I see you. Okay. On a more serious note, you should take away the fact that folic acid is very, very important in the developing of your baby. In the first 6 weeks of your pregnancy, counting from your LMP, you should take away the fact that preconceptional folic acid, that is the one you take before you get pregnant, is more important than the one you take after you get pregnant. Although both of them are important, but you need to start the folic acid the moment you think of getting pregnant. Let me get closer to you. The moment you think of getting pregnant, please take your folic acid so that we can reduce the incidence of neuraceal defects worldwide. So thank you so much for joining me again today. It was very nice to have this conversation with you. If you still have questions about folic acid, I will not talk about other prenatal vitamins because, well, I'm not an obstetrician. Although, yes, I have the knowledge of obstetrics, but I'll leave that to the obstetricians. But if you have any questions and comments for me about folic acid, preconceptional folic acid, or anything about your pregnancy relating with pediatrics, anything about your child, please drop them in the comment section below and I'll be here to respond. If you have any queries, if you have anything you want me to talk about, drop them in the comment section below. Remember that you can reach out to me. My email is yourbabysdoctor@gmail.com and I will respond. You can also follow me on social media at yourbabysdoctor. And I will always, okay, I should stop, respond to your questions and queries. So thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope this video is very helpful. Remember, if it's very helpful, give me the thumbs up and share. Give me the thumbs up and share so that we can reach out to more people worldwide. Thank you so much for joining me today. I remain Ayobola Adebowale, your baby's doctor, shining light on your child's health and well-being. See you next time. Bye.